Hello everyone. I hope you enjoyed that Nintendo Direct, and we're gonna be just covering what we know about Xenoblade 3 so far on the day that it released, or on the day that it was announced. So we actually know more than you might think based on just the trailer. And before we get into this video, just so you know, beware of spoilers for Xenoblade 1 and 2. That makes me really happy to say, but there will be massive spoilers for both games, so if you haven't played either of them, you want to leave this video now, go play them, and then maybe come back if you have time and there's no more information. So first of all, before the trailer, I just want to go through a few different things on the Nintendo website that give us some really important information and some good context about the trailer. So first of all, I think this is the US Nintendo page. I'm not sure. I'll put links to all these pages in the description so you can see for yourself. So here's the title, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, with a little trademark right here. Then two main characters. That one kind of looks like Nia. Available September 2022. I'm so excited so soon. I didn't think it was coming before like October, which I mean is only a month different, but still really exciting. And here's some clips from it. So the important things here, the protagonists are Noah and Mio. So those are the two main protagonists, and there are two nations called Kieves and Agnes. So those are going to be like the Moradane and Moradane and Uriah type things. So I'm wondering if it'll be like similar to Moradane and Uriah, where at the beginning of Xenoblade 2, it seemed like Moradane and Uriah, that conflict was going to be the main focus of the game, but then halfway through, the focus completely shifted. So I wonder if it'll be the same type of thing here. Then what else? A central theme of life. So that's interesting and tells us very little, like life as in life opposed to death, or living your life how you wish to, or I'm just curious. Like life is very nondescript, or could it mean like reincarnation or something? And we'll talk about that when we get to the trailer. And it will connect both Xenoblade and Xenoblade 2. So that's the really exciting part, is that fans of Xenoblade will be very happy with this, because both the games are going to get treatment and sequel status, or not sequel status, they're going to get a sequel that combines the two, and that's really exciting because it means that both the world that Shulk and Rex were in are going to be the same. So that's it from this Nintendo website. Now, what I find interesting is this Nintendo of UK site. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Like I said, I'll post the link in the description. But this website has a bunch of different information, which is really interesting. So, like, let's see what I wrote down. Okay, so first of all, the world is in Ionius, or Ionius. So, what I'm wondering is, like, that's like that sounds a lot like Ion from Xenoblade 2, like the big final boss fight that Malus was in, and then or the Numa used to take away the world tree. So I'm wondering if that has anything to do with Ion. Maybe Ion's back somehow. I don't know. So I'm interested to see what they do there. Then the real thing about this is the information about the characters. So, oh wait, this isn't the characters, this is the world. So Kieves is a technological nation, and then Agnes is a ether and magic technology nation. So there are two pretty different things, kind of like, you know, how the Bionis was very ethery and the Mechonis was very technological. Maybe it's a similar type of thing here, except I'm not sure. It looks like they're mostly humans, so not really like the Mechon were in Xenoblade 1. Then we have information about the characters. So Noah, he seems like the main protagonist. That looks a lot like a Monado. So I think he'll be the main protagonist, and keep in mind this, he's a soldier of Kieves. So now, and it gives some more information. Now, Lance, this guy looks a lot like an Indoline guy. He looks very Indoline, so I feel like he might be a descendant of one of their people. Uh, Wields a great sword that doubles as a shield, so I'm not sure. It sounds like he might be similar to Ryan combat-wise. Uni, oh, and also this guy, an ally of Noah, so Noah is part of the, part of Kieves. So then Uni is a childhood friend of the two of them, and she uses healing in battle, so like the Charlotte or Nia kind of character for gameplay wise. And she's a childhood friend, so I assume that she is part of what Kieves with the other two. So now this is where things get interesting. So Mio is the other protagonist, and a soldier of Agnes. So Agnes and Kieves. But if we look at this, the title screen, that looks a lot like. Sorry, I'm still learning all these names. That looks a lot like Noah and Mio. So that's really interesting because it's like two people from different sides of the world or different forces like combining together. So it's clearly that's not going to be like the main conflict. There's going to be some other conflict that isn't just these two nations fighting. Okay, and then Tyon, tactician who fights with Mio, makes sense. Smarts and insight sounds like character traits. Now this person looks like a blade. This is Cena, and an ally of Mio and Tyon, and it looks like they're going to all be soldiers of Agnes. So like 3 soldiers of Agnes and 3 soldiers of Kiev. So I'm wondering if there's going to be like some split gameplay at the beginning or something. Not really sure how they'll do that. And then that's all from here. And then we have a statement from Takahashi, who is the developer of the game. So that's always nice. So I wrote down some notes. So first of all, where is it? Give me just a second. Okay, the key visual is the broken sword of Mechonis and the body of the Orion Titan with a big gaping hole. So now I find this very interesting. Like the first time I saw this, I did not realize that's what it was, but I guess that this is the Orion Titan, which that's like from Xenoblade 2, that title screen, and then this is a Mechonis sword, so like the Xenoblade 1 title screen. So it's like both combined into one, but like both of them are shells of their former selves. So like this isn't the Mechonis, it's just its broken sword, and this isn't Uriah, the thriving nation. It's like a dead titan now with a big hole in it. So I wonder maybe like the sword fell through the titan or something when the worlds were combining. I don't know. That's just a theory. So then what else is there? Oh, okay, so Mitsuda was, wait, where is it? Give me just a second. Okay, yeah, the music for Xenoblade 3 was composed by Yasunori Mitsuda, and this guy, I believe, created the entire soundtrack for Xenoblade 2, and the last song that plays at the ending credits for Xenoblade 1, and then some more people. So I'm not sure exactly what the rest of them have done, but Mitsuda, he's the one who I really like because Xenoblade 2 is my favorite soundtrack ever. And another interesting thing to note is that it's very based around the flute. So I find that interesting. Like, what does the flute in particular have to show us? I'm not sure. Okay, now that's all the stuff from these websites. So now let's go to this. Okay, and then I need to. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this started. So yeah. So first of all, already we see that there's a flute, so already from the first second of the trailer, or the first 4 seconds, I suppose, The flute's already being shown, and it starts with "This is Noah." So Noah is where it starts. So he should be the protagonist because he had the Monado like a sword. And rating pending, it's going to be teen, probably because Xenoblade 1 and 2 were, so I assume that this one will be rated teen also, but that's just a minor thing.
Fighting in order to live, and living to fight.
Okay, now, if you watch this carefully, it looks a lot like Xenoblade 1's battle
That's
intro.
the way of our...
So one thing that Xenoblade 1 was really good at was instantly putting you right into the action, and it looks like this game is trying to mimic that.
world.
Okay, and now this looks
Ionios.
like a phased mechon. Now that's something to pay attention to, because a phased mechon, that's like one of the key points of Xenoblade 1, and I wonder if the person inside is able to control it or not. Not sure. And there is that Monado-like weapon again, so that looks a lot like a Monado. That's probably going to be the main sword of the game.
Tell me, what would possess you to stop?
Okay, perfect. I paused it in just the right spot. So now that is a core crystal, and that's also twin rings, but we don't see Dromark anywhere, so I'm not sure exactly what the twin rings are from, because when Nia used the twin rings, it was just from Dromark, but Dromark does not appear in the trailer, so I wonder how she has twin rings, but that's just a minor thing again. So, but what I really want to pay attention to is that core crystal. So it has like pink on top and blue on the side. So then if we go ahead and look at Nia from Xenoblade 2, the core crystal doesn't quite look the same, but it looks very similar, so I'm not sure exactly what that means. But yeah, let's continue on.
Fight with them.
We're fighting because they're...
Okay, so here we can see Mio versus Noah. So it's like the two of them are fighting, but since, like, if we go over here, they're on the cover, so I think they're going to have to, like, get past how their nations are fighting against each other or something. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to work, but I feel like that'll be a big conflict, but eventually they'll team up to take out the bigger goal. I don't know, that's just the kind of feeling that I'm getting from this.
Enemy to kill.
I refuse to believe you're...
Okay, now that was, I believe, Santa. Let's go and check. So, the Indoline guy. No, that was Lands. Okay. So yeah, that was Lands.
I knew it. I saw this.
And that's Sana. And Sana looks a lot like a blade. Like, I don't remember what weapon type that is, but that looks like a weapon from Xenoblade 2. So I'm wondering if she'll be a flesh eater or what exactly.
It's coming.
Okay, now this is a big thing. Now, this guy is giving me some extreme Van Damme vibes. Like, look at that. And also, I'm going to let it play in a minute, but the voice sounds just like Van Damme. So if we go ahead and take a look at Van Damme, you see how there's like, this is from Xenoblade 2 by the way, you see how there's like that X in there? Well, this guy also has an X. So I'm not sure what that means, but he also has a beard, which Van Damme does not have any sort of beard, but beards can grow. So now what else? The ears are the same shape. The hair is similar, although I'd assume that this would be Van Damme from Future, but the hair looks more gray here than here, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but it definitely looks like Van Damme and sounds like Van Damme. But Van Damme is dead, so I'm not exactly sure what they're gonna do with that, but something interesting.
You're not enemies now.
Fine for you, isn't it? All that.
Okay, wait a second.
We're fighting because there are enemies to kill.
I refuse to believe you're him.
Okay, that I refuse to believe you're him. I'm not sure exactly what that is referencing, but maybe it's about how there's like that Van Damme guy who it, like, maybe it was some character who knew about Vandam, but then never got to, like, really know him or something, and it was just weird when he returned, or something about refusing to believe it's him, like some kind of reincarnation or guy who they believed were dead but wasn't actually.
I knew it. I saw this coming.
You're not enemies now.
Yeah, and if you heard that, it sounded just like Vandam. And also, this person, they're blonde, so that leads me to believe they have something to do with Shulk, Fiora, or Klaus, and I'm not sure which one. We need to see if they're evil or not, but they're playing a flute.
Fine for you, isn't it? All that time you've got.
You could try to move.
And yeah, here we can see Noah and Mio just like doing stuff together, so they must be getting past their nation war or something.
Forwards again.
How can our lives be so snuffing little to you?
Okay, and here are the next.
They're not your friends anymore.
So I believe that they were Uni and Tyon.
They're his few. Sword march. The land pierced by a great sword.
Time you've got.
You could try to move forwards again.
How can our lives be so snuffing little to you?
They're not your friends anymore.
They're not your friends anymore. So that's something that I find interesting. So I think that he was referencing the other three from the other nation or something.
His view.
And they said something about they're his fuel. So that's like like the main thing about the Bionis was that it needed like a bunch of lives to be able to function. So and they used the ether collected from those lives as fuel. So I wonder if that's the same kind of thing that they're talking about there. And that was a major conflict in the first Xenoblade.
Sword march.
That looks a lot like the last one looked a lot like our plains. I'm not sure what exactly that is, but it looks like some kind of half mountain thing.
The land pierced by a great sword.
Okay, man pierced by great sword. That's interesting. So,
the land pierced by a great.
So they have the Mechonis sword back there. So I'm not sure exactly what it's supposed to be. So there have been a few people pierced by swords. First of all is Rex, which, since it sounds like it's Vandam talking, I would not be surprised if it has something to do with Rex. But also it's worth noting that Egil was also stabbed by a great sword, although I don't feel like Egil will have a big role. Or it could be Zanza or Mainith that were pierced by the great sword, because both of them were stabbed, by the Bionis and Mechonis were both stabbed. But just like, since there's a big sword in the background, I'm tempted to believe that it was either Mainith or a Zanza, and I'm not sure which one.
Sword.
Also, look at that. That is a Mechonis finger. So that leads me to believe that this might be something with the fallen arm. I'm not certain though.
It's the only way.
I missed it again. Okay.
It's the only way you're gonna do.
Quite get it. Because if I try, okay. I'll try from there.
The land pierced by a great sword.
And nope, not there. Okay, there. Now this looks a lot like Alba Cavendish, so, or it could also be the Mechon Agnirtha. I'm thinking this is either Agnirtha or I don't remember. Alba Cavendish. So it looks like one of the two, or it could be some completely new city, like it could be the capital of Kiev or the other nation.
It's the only way you're gonna defeat the real enemy.
Okay, so there they referenced the real enemy, so that sounded like from the Vandam character again. So I'm guessing the real enemy is definitely not the nations. It's going to be something greater, like maybe there's an Aegis, or Ontos, which is Alvis, or someone else. I'm not sure. But the real enemy is not going to be the nations. I'm almost certain of that because it wasn't in Xenoblade 1 or 2, or I guess it was kind of in Xenoblade 1, but definitely not Xenoblade 2. Okay, and look, they got to ride around in a boat thing. I really like that.
Whatever life is lost, I won't let you shoulder it all alone. What good filling
Wait a sec, okay.
up these flickering clocks in our eyes?
Oh, and look, there were some Nopon.
What good filling up these flickering clocks in our eyes?
Yeah, okay, I missed again. Okay, I need to start using, like...
Up these flickering...
Okay, yeah, look at the Nopon, and look at this guy's hairstyle. Why are they... and look at this one's hairstyle, too. Why is their hair so strange?
Clocks in our eyes. It will never replace the friends we've lost. The slave...
Okay, and you'll never replace the friends we lost? That implies that there will be character deaths, which is a given because it's a Xenoblade game, but still, now character deaths are confirmed. We just don't know which ones.
clock. It has to go.
Okay, now, look, that is Melia. That has to be Melia. Not absolutely certain, like, this is what Melia looks like in Xenoblade Definitive Edition. So, it's definitely different, but, like, it's a half-blood Hyantia because the wings aren't quite that big, but it also, like, couldn't be a full-blooded Hyantia because I'm pretty sure they all died out in Xenoblade 1. But now this is the real
world. They must be erased.
Yeah, okay. Look, that looked a lot like Nia.
Ouroboros abhor this world. They must...
Okay, yeah, now look at that character very carefully. It looks a lot like Nia, and the design for the outfit is similar, although definitely different, so it leads me to believe that that's Nia, but the outfit is different enough to where I'm not completely convinced, but it also sounds like Nia, so I'm not sure. But also, the core crystal, like the blue to the left and the pink going down and to the right, that's not what we see. Is it what we see there? So yeah, that's a different core crystal, although it could just be new art style, new design, that kind of stuff. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's not Nia, but I just find that interesting. Okay, and here we have Uriah from... That's Uriah and Titan, which is very unfortunate. Uriah was my favorite location in Xenoblade 2, but now it has like a big hole in it, and that's no longer the Titan, although maybe part of the conflict is one of the new nations are the people from Uriah, like the Ether people, and then maybe the technology people are the people who are descended from Moradane, and like from Xenoblade 1, it's just some people chose which group they wanted to go with. Although I doubt they'd have the same two groups fighting again in the next game, but it is a sequel, so we don't know. And then there's Makana's sword, and the Mio, and I keep wanting to call this guy Adam, but I know that's the Xenoblade 2 guy. Okay, but yeah, that guy. The two people from different nations. And it could also be like, maybe the two groups fighting are descendants from Xenoblade 2 and Xenoblade 1, so they're just like fighting each other, the different worlds. But that's about it for the video because nothing else big happens other than the content that it's released in September, which I'm really excited for. I think I saw someone say something about the significance of like the Paragon tree, but I don't know about that. You'd have to go see other videos to see about that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm really excited for Xenoblade 3. Sorry if my talking's not the best, like, this was partly scripted, but also I came up with most of the stuff on the spot. I just took some random notes. So if you want to see more Xenoblade content in the future, please subscribe, and I will be happy to see you next time. And see you then.